Hey, how y'all doing, man? Back with another video with Rashad the Great. Today's video will be about how to not crash out. And I think over the years, man, I learned to not crash out. The number one way that I learned not to crash out, again, y'all gonna get tired of me saying this, but it is what it is. Having a relationship with God. And every day I try to make God proud. I try to make God smile. And some days I do and some days I don't. It's being human. It's called growing, right? So I learned this ability not to crash out through my relationship with God and understand how God deals with certain situations. God, he sometimes flipped tables, but not because he was mad. He flipped tables because they were making a mockery. They were making the church into a marketplace. You understand what I'm saying? He cursed the fig tree because the fig tree wasn't living in its purpose. He had valid reasons for what he did. And sometimes you might have a valid reason. But like Michelle Obama said, when we go high, when they go low, we go high. You gotta remain professional. And even in interviews, one of the main questions I always get, how would you handle an angry customer? How would you handle an angry coworker? And it's like, I worked for some big companies. I worked for Publix. I worked for Disney. I worked in customer service. I worked in retail. And with that being said, I learned how to have good customer service. Because at the end of the day, you there to service the customer and make as much money as you can. You there to service the customer and to make as much money as you can. So you can't let the little personal stuff get to you. You can't let the attitudes get to you, bro. You gotta be untouchable, especially as a man. A man who can't control his emotions, they're gonna call you names. Just let's say they ain't gonna call you masculine. They're gonna call you the opposite. You know. So you gotta be able to handle your emotions. Half the people that's in jail is probably because they can't control their emotions, or because of maybe a drug possession or something like that. They can't handle their emotions, or they can't handle their stress. So they DUI, so they smoke XYZ. They can't handle their stress level, so they crash out. They commit a crime. They can't handle stress. You can't handle stress. You can't handle your emotions. You're going to end up dead or in jail quicker. And as a black man, statistically, on average, we live into our 60s. We live into our 60s. When everybody else is living 70, 80, 90 plus, we're dying early. And that's why, again, I tell you, you got to have a therapist. That's probably number one. Have a relationship with God. Number two, get some help. Get some therapy. Have a pastor you can call on, a Christian family member, a Christian friend. Not one of them toxic people, not one of them negative people. They shouldn't even be in your life still. Not talking about them ratchet friends. You should get rid of them a long time ago. I know Jesus kept a couple ratchets with him. Peter wasn't the one to play with. He'll cut your ear off. But I'm saying your main friends, your best friends, should have the best character. If you want to be my best friend, you need to have the best character. You don't need to have the best paycheck. You don't need to have the best body. You don't need to have the best whatever. You need to have the best character if you want to be my best friend. You need to have character. You need to have personality. You need to have self-respect if you want to be my best friend. So, and then like I said, number one, you got a relationship with God. Two, you got to manage your stress. And you might need people to help you manage your stress well. So you won't crash out less. And three, like I said, you got to keep it all in perspective. It's not important. I had a teacher back in 4th grade. Shout out to my 4th grade teacher, Jennifer Davis. She said, Rashad, don't sweat the small stuff. And guess what? It's all small stuff. If it's not life or death, if it's not, resurrection, it's all small stuff. You can get another job, baby. I've had plenty. You can get another girlfriend. You can get another wife if she leaves you. It is what it is. You're going to get a better wife. You're going to get a better husband. You just do the best thing that you can do each and every day. I keep telling y'all be the best person y'all can be. Don't worry about anybody else. Make your good decisions each and every day. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, like I said, let me recap before I go to the gym. Number 1, to not to crash out, have a relationship with God. Number 2, not to crash out. You got to be able to handle your emotions and your stress. So whatever that looks like to you, whether it's working out, whether it's reading your Bible, whether it's praying, whether it's worshiping, whether it's going to church, whether it's taking a walk, a free 15-minute walk to clear your head. Back when I was working at NASA, sometimes we'll tell the group chat, hey, I need a breather. You know, I need a breather. I'm about to walk outside for 15 minutes. So, sometimes you may need that. 3, you need to get help, professional help, mental help, therapist, counselor, family member, friend, someone who's going to tell you the truth out of love, someone who's going to believe in you. That's what you need. You don't have to have a lot of family people to call on. You need to have your big 3. That might be your therapist, that might be God and your mama, or a therapist, God, and your best friend. But you need someone to be able to talk to through your problems. I don't care if you're man, woman, boy, or girl, or child. We all going through something. We all going through ups and downs in life. There's no such thing as a soft life because Jesus didn't live a soft life. Martin Luther King didn't live a soft life. If you want to be great, it's nothing soft about being great. You got to go through your go-through. You got to have high highs and low lows. But anyways, yeah, those are top 3 ways where I don't crash out, man. I have an outlet. I go to the gym. I read. I pray. You gotta have an outlet so you won't crash out. And I had a situation happen to me this week. Someone said something, you know, kind of razzled me. And I was like, man, you know, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to address the problem like I usually do. But this time, I let him slide. I gave him grace. Like, I let him slide. I gave him grace. And I could have said something about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't right. It wasn't professional. They could have kept that to themselves, or they could have went to the back and said that, and I wouldn't have never heard them. I was a customer. But it is what it is, man. I forgive them. I wish them the best. But, you know, you can't treat people wrong and get by, especially a man of God, a child of God. You know, that's why I try to make good decisions. That's why I tell y'all to make good decisions and treat everybody right. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, turn notification on. Rashad the Great. Don't crash out. Be great. You know, God's got you. Don't just make good decisions, make godly decisions, so you may live life more abundantly, the way that God wanted you to live it. All right, Rashad the Great. I'm out. Let's go! Woo!